Good morning, Northern California, and thanks for joining us. I'm Monica Coleman. The calendar reads Sunday, March 26th, the last weekend in March. And new this morning, President Joe Biden issued an emergency declaration for Mississippi. Let's check in a little closer to home with meteorologist Brendan Menchef. Brendan, athletes are preparing this morning for the Kaiser Permanente running of the Elk in Elk Grove, and it's looking like we may have perfect running weather. All eyes are on the Kings this morning as the road to the playoffs continues. Alicia Machado was at the Golden One Center talking to some very excited fans. March has been a month of storms in Nevada County. Residents were without power and propane deliveries for 10 days. Here at ABC 10, we stand for you and looked into what issues are and the solutions that can happen, especially since the same problems are likely to occur during wildfire season. ABC 10's Devin Truby reports. That was ABC 10's Devin Truby reporting. The association tells us there are no supply issues with propane. What happened during the March storms was about delivery, not supply. A scary situation left a casino on lockdown in Tahoe on Saturday. Hard Rock Hotel and Casino was placed on lockdown after an active shooter was reported there. In Stockton, the mayor was on hand to celebrate a very important milestone. The First Presbyterian Church turned 100 years old. Photojournalist Ayanna Williams has the story. Each weekend, ABC 10's Walt Gregg catches up with the journalists about the biggest political stories of the week. Here's Walt with more. If you're keeping an eye on the time, it's 6:18. Here's what you need to know this morning. 2 people were killed and 8 others were sent to the hospital after an explosion at a chocolate factory in Pennsylvania. Good morning, Northern California. Thanks for waking up with us on this beautiful Sunday. I'm Monica Coleman. Let's start this morning outside. Here's a live look at downtown Sacramento right now. You can see the city is slowly but surely waking up, and it will be smooth sailing on the roads today with another great day ahead of us. Let's go ahead and check in with my friend, meteorologist Brendan Menchef. Brendan, it will be a nice weekend to go out and enjoy the many events happening in Sacramento, like maybe the Sacramento Ramadan Clothing and Jewelry Bazaar that's happening today at noon. New this morning, President Joe Biden issued an emergency declaration for Mississippi after a deadly tornado ripped through the Delta on Friday. People are still trying to understand the impact of that tornado that stayed on the ground for close to 100 miles in the southeast. The death toll now up to 26. ABC's Morgan Norwood has the latest. Facing a possible indictment, former President Donald Trump used his first election rally in Waco, Texas to belittle the prosecutors investigating him and fire up his base ahead of the 2024 election. During his speech, Trump also repeatedly went after President Joe Biden regarding the state of the economy. Pictures of former President Donald Trump being arrested are going viral. But as Ariane Datil with our National Verified team discovered, those pictures are not all what they seem. Just a few days ago, we talked about the governor's plan to put 1,200 of these tiny homes across California to get people off the streets. 350 of those are set to be placed at Cal Expo in coming months. Then, of course, there's the lot of 100 sheds on Power Inn Road that are supposed to house people experiencing homelessness. Those are still sitting vacant, as Sacramento City and County say they are having issues with permits and material sourcing. And they are not just a solution for homelessness. We have even spoke to people fighting to have the right to live in a tiny home on their own land. They say it's a cheaper option for people who don't need as much space or simply just can't afford today's home prices. But a lot of times, solutions to the homeless crisis, like tiny home plots, are often met with the attitude, not in my backyard. But this morning, ABC 10's Becca Habegger introduces us to one woman who's changing lives with tiny homes and a lot of love. Robin Moore says she is a nerd when it comes to doing things right, dotting I's and crossing every T, getting their permits and the insurance because she wants Safe Harbor to last and thrive as a bridge for homelessness to house. We've put a link to where you can get in touch and donate if you're interested on abc10.com/to-the-point. Just look for the links mentioned tab. Tomorrow on To the Point with Alex Bell at 6:30. We've been hearing from people living in West Roseville. There's a major industrial park being proposed in a brand new neighborhood. Alex Bell is listening to their concerns and taking them straight to the city. Clean California Community Days held Dump Day for people living in Modesto who wanted to part ways with larger items. It was held Saturday from 8 a.m. to just about noon. Local crafters were able to sell some of their handmade items in downtown Sacramento yesterday. Doco's Makers Market took over the West Plaza. Brendan, thank you. And before we go this morning, here's a recap of some of the top stories we've been following for you. President Joe Biden issued an emergency declaration for Mississippi.